Okay, so we're going to start off with a little exercise that's a little bit warming. You can do this on the floor, hands and knees, or you can put your hand on a desk or a chair or something that's not going to move. But I'm coming down into this almost quadruped position here. And I'm going to raise opposite arm and opposite leg. So I'm going left arm, right leg here, trying to draw in my core here. Make sure that my hip bones are staying even to the floor underneath me. My shoulders are also doing the same. And I'm staying nice and static. And then I switch sides. You could certainly go at your own pace here. Checking in that your neck is staying nice and long. And you're continuing to breathe here. If you find it hard to breathe or notice that you take little breathing breaks, coordinating with the movement. So inhaling as your hand comes up and your foot comes up, and then exhaling as your foot comes down. And now try pausing at the top of the movement, squeezing up a little bit higher, and then coming down. Just to challenge your own range of motion. Check in here at the top that you aren't arching your back, you're keeping your pelvis tucked and your back nice and flat. And we'll just do one more on each side. Beautiful. The next thing we're going to do is instead of bringing the left arm up and the right leg back, we're going to bring it out to the side. And when I bring my leg out to the side, I'm just going to bend it and bring the bent knee out to the side. So if you could see me from the bottom up, it would look like this and like this. But I'm doing it in that quadruped position or as close as you want to get to that for yourself. Try a few here, just going back and forth, checking in that you aren't opening or twisting. You're staying nice and even with the floor. This is an anti-rotation exercise, so we're practicing the ability to work against gravity that way. And now try pausing at the top, squeezing up a little bit higher, and then coming down. Beautiful. And you can stand on up. Oh, actually stay down here because we're going to actually push back here. Aiming to round through your pelvis, round through your lower back, tuck your tailbone down towards the ground. Get a nice lower back round going there. Bending at your knees if you're standing and using a chair. So you can really capitalize on that nice lower back rounding. Can take some pressure off if you tend to excessively arch your back during the workday, whether you sit or stand. And as you're pushing back, also thinking about leaning those armpits towards the floor, getting a nice stretch through your shoulders here, through your lats, maybe your triceps. If your elbows are inclined to flare out towards the sides as you lean down into that, checking in with them, experimenting with keeping those forearms parallel and not letting the elbows flare out to the sides. See if you can find that angle where the stretch is really juicy, really stretchy, and really comfortable and enjoyable. You can also try leaning your body a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. Getting a gentle little bit of movement in there can make that stretch a bit more comfortable, enjoyable, and more valuable because you're hitting more muscle groups. Nice. So now we're going to stand up and use that chair, floor, wall, whatever you have handy. If it's a wall, you'll be like this. But we're going to get a nice little side bend going. So engaging your core and bring your left arm up and over as you hold on to something with your right to support you. And enjoying this stretch here. Breathing in deeply, thinking about using your breath to expand the spaces between your ribs. Beautiful. Experimenting with this stretch in different angles. So bringing your left hand forward a little bit, finding that stretch. You'll feel that a little bit more in your back. And then bringing your hand back a little bit further. Maybe you'll feel it a little bit more down into your hip flexors. Rocking forward and back, just to play with this stretch. And then drawing the biggest circle that I possibly can with my arm here to give my shoulders all kinds of delicious treats. If you would like, you can follow the circle that your hand is making around your shoulder with your head. So looking at your hand the whole time, seeing if that feels good for you. If it doesn't, don't. If it does, do. And then reverse direction for this circle. Seeing if that changes anything for you. Nice. We're going to stand on up, take a little shake out if that feels nice, and we'll do the other side next. So again, I'm going to engage through my core using my abdominal muscles here, drawing belly button back and in and lifting up through the pelvic floor. Then I'm going to get a little bit of side bend going on, supporting myself with my left hand. And I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to bring it up and over, getting a nice stretch through the right side of my body. I'm going to take a monster inhale, the biggest breath that ever was, and think about opening up the space through the ribs on the right side of my body. And then starting to play with the angles of the stretch, bringing my hand forward to feel that stretch through my back a little bit more, bringing my hand back. Just seeing how it changes the stretch for me and for my body today. Hanging out where it feels good. Always taking the time to be respectful of my body and be mindful of what my senses are feeling. And whenever you're ready, drawing that really big circle with your hand around your shoulder joint. Following it with your gaze, if that feels great. And we'll do one more here. And then we'll reverse direction. Beautiful. And don't be afraid to include the shoulder in this. So as you're going around, bringing that shoulder up towards your ear and bringing that shoulder around. So you're almost drawing that circle on your body with your shoulder joint as well as your hand around your shoulder. All right, beautiful. So now we're going to stand up really nice and tall. I'm going to reach for the floor on either side, so really drawing my shoulders down actively. And I'm going to do some neck rolls. So dropping left ear to left shoulder, allowing my head to be like a bowling ball and roll forward and around and back the other way, going at my own pace. And if I notice any tight spots and I say, oh gosh, that would feel great to hang out there, I can just go ahead and do that. Giving plenty of love to both sides here. Pausing with the left ear towards the left shoulder and taking a moment to just angle through my neck. So tipping my nose down towards my collarbone, Tipping my nose up towards the ceiling, but still keeping the ear close to the shoulder. And coming over to the other side, right ear towards the right shoulder. Enjoying that stretch for a moment. And then playing with that angle. So tipping the nose down, drawing the nose up towards the ceiling. And coming back up towards the center, rolling out my shoulders in this position. Next thing I'm going to do also is a bit of a breathing exercise. I'm going to start off with hands down by your heart here, or as close to this position as you would like. And we're going to inhale the arms up and exhale them apart. Going at the cadence of your breath. Or if it's enjoyable for you, you could try and slow it down. So aiming for a 4 count to inhale very completely and a 4 count to exhale completely. From there, go to a 5 count and continue until you find your max that's comfortable. It could be a fun experiment. And also a way to connect with your body that's enjoyable. From here, let's mix up the breathing exercise a little bit. We're going to start off with goalpost arms, bringing the back of the hands back in space to inhale. And then when exhaling, interlacing your fingers and pressing away, rounding through your whole spine, tucking your chin in towards your chest before inhaling back. Checking in with your shoulders, dropping them away from your ears here. And then when you exhale, interlacing and pressing away. And one more of these. Goalpost arms back. And interlacing and pressing your palms away. Nice. Let's do a little something for our lower body. I'm going to hold on to my sturdy object for balance, and then I'm going to bring my knee up, out to the side, and as far back and down as I possibly can here, drawing the biggest circle I possibly can around my hip joint with my knee. Beautiful. Taking the time to think about, hey, how far can I bring my knee across my body? How high can I lift it up? And how far back and out can I push it? Out here, as my knee comes down towards the ground, pushing it back as far as I can to experience that range of motion as well. Let's go ahead and reverse the direction here. Different parts of the circle will be working against gravity, so there is a slight change for your body here. But feel free to slow it way down and pause and push back in space. Pause, double check that you're pushing out as far as possible. Come up to the top, double check that you can't go up a little bit higher or across your body a bit more. And we'll do the same to the other side, holding onto something if it's helpful for you. And doing that gigantic circle for your hip joint. Checking in with yourself, checking in with those 4 corners, keeping your brain and body honest that this is in fact your maximum. So I can go across my body a little bit more, up just a little bit higher, out as far as possible, and down and back a little bit more. Switching the direction on this side also. And we'll do 2 more of these. Beautiful. Both feet flat on the ground, shake it all out. And you guys did wonderful. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care, everybody.